Hello. Welcome to Pod Maverick After Dark. I'm Kirk Henderson, joined by Josh Bowe. It's Thursday night. It's 10:15 p.m. It's the first night of a back-to-back of Tanktastic basketball. The Dallas Mavericks fell to the Sacramento Kings 130-121 in a performance which should get Jason Kidd a fucking extension. I am dying. This was one of the silliest games I've seen in 4 or 5 years. It was nuts. I'm delighted. Not because, look, we've talked about this. You need to enjoy the basketball that you're watching. If you're tuning in to watch a February game, you want them to win. But you understand in the back of your head, it's better if they lose. And when you and I called out this, like probably in December, that the Mavericks, like this stretch was going to be one where Mavs fans were mad. Like we knew the team was bad. This is before the trade. We'd hoped, but it's like this stretch was one we knew was going to drive Mavs fans crazy. I earnestly thought they were going to win 4 straight. And the fact that they fell to the Kings is truly absurd.
I mean, it's not just that they fell to the Kings. Like you have to, like the Kings are bad, but you have to understand like the lineup the Kings played tonight.
Talk to me about it because I was laughing my ass off. Like you don't comment during games and you were like, what in the hell is this?
Oh yeah. I mean, the Kings, Nick Clifford, who's an okay role, young player, like Devin Carter, Maxine Renon, who is okay rookie, but like Drew Eubanks, Daquan Plowden, G League guy comes in.
Daquan Plowden, that's a person? Congratulations to him.
Killian, is that Killian Hayes? Like
that is Killian Hayes. What an incredible tank signing.
Yeah, he was +3 in his 18 minutes, which is hilarious. He had 6 assists and 0 turnovers. Like the Mavericks let that lineup, like DeMar DeRozan scored 7 points tonight, and the Kings had 76 points in the paint. I'm going to repeat that. The Kings had 76 points in the paint. A starting lineup of Precious Achiuwa, Maxine Renon, DeMar DeRozan, who scored 7 points, Devin Carter, and Nick Clifford. That starting lineup scored 76 points in the paint.
That's insane.
That it is insane. The teams combined, the Mavericks had 62 of their own. The Mavericks also had 62 points in the paint, 138 combined points in the paint. That was the worst combined defense I've seen in the NBA game since I've been watching the NBA since, beginning of this century, so that's last 26 years or so. I haven't seen a game worse than that. I mean, that was one dribble move layup, one dribble move layup, one dribble move layup, no rotation. I mean, you couldn't have I mean, it was like you want to talk about like tanking and like colluding in the NBA. Like, I mean, these teams were playing defense. Like the coaches were like, we're going to fine you if you step in the paint defensively tonight.
The flip side of this though was like, what's the offensive rebounding numbers? Because I saw Marvin Bagley just like leap out of the sky like a kid playing like jump ball and like if you ever played basketball,
had 16 offensive rebounds. I mean, that is, like I said, this is one of the most impressive tank games I've seen in a long time because you give him DeMar DeRozan. Okay, he's a good veteran, but he didn't do anything tonight.
Nope.
He only took 3 shots. Like he had 5 assists, no turnovers. The Mavericks doubled him. He passed well, but like if you're playing this Kings lineup and DeRozan only shoots 3 times and has 7 points, I don't care if you're rolling out like all your 2, like you should win if you're like the Marvin Bagley, Najee Marshall, Max Christie, Chris Middleton, Klay Thompson, like those guys, those are like after DeMar DeRozan, those are all the next best players in the game. Like the Mavericks probably had the fourth or fifth best players in this game after DeRozan. So yeah, this was a game for the ages for tanking. Like any Mavs fan that got mad about them beating Brooklyn, here's your makeup, because this is I still can't I still can't believe how bad it was. And no Daniel Gafford.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing we've been talking about, I'm talking a lot now, but the one thing we've been talking about with Marvin Bagley, as great as he's been, he doesn't play defense, and they didn't have a big, they didn't have rim protection, but even then, no PJ. They played Dwight and Marvin Bagley were their two bigs. Musa Cisse was active and only.
What in the hell was that?
Very weird. I guess he's gonna play. He better play like 30 minutes tomorrow.
Well, they're gonna use all his eligibility, and he's gonna have then they're gonna have to play other people. This is insane.
I don't know. Well, that was me. I kind of went long there. So you wrote the recap, which I can't even imagine what that must have been like.
I got to 700 words. I was real fucking proud of myself because you got to understand. I come downstairs and look, my 2-year-old, he's at that stage where he's just milking bedtime like nobody's business. And I'm like, brother, I got to go watch the Mavs. And he goes, no, you don't. And I was like, you know what? I don't. So I read him a couple more stories, and I come downstairs, and the Mavericks are getting their asses kicked. And I had
they were down. It's a miracle this game was close. By the way, the Kings were up double digits 70% of the game.
Our regular contributor, Michael Harris, who does the grades, does a great job for us night in and night out. Like the man just turned he is the Najee Marshall of Mavs Moneyball these days. He said, look, the Mavericks are dying in the first quarter again. It's like you predicted. And I was like, this is different. The Kings were just beating the shit out of the Mavs. That's actually what was happening. There's usually
76 points in the paint, man. I just can't. I'm going to stare at that for the rest of the time.
There's usually some fuckery that goes on, but really what happened in the first quarter, or really almost the entire first half, the Mavericks committed 9 turnovers in the first half. The Kings had 3. All 3 turnovers came in the final 4 minutes of the first half. They played flawless basketball insofar as the terrible Kings are capable of playing flawless basketball. So the Mavericks got punched in the mouth. I don't know who the hell was hitting all the threes for the Kings. I was like,
Plowden.
My God.
Plowden had 3 threes. He had 3 of their 8 made threes.
And then Precious had a threes. He hit they only hit 8 of 26 for 31%, but I felt like I saw a number of corner threes go down in this game. And it was like every time the Mavericks would be making a run, you'd look up and someone else from the Kings would be doing something to sort of punch the Mavericks right back in the mouth. Now,
dude, we haven't even gotten to Precious Achiuwa had 29 points and 12 rebounds.
Just ate the Mavericks up.
The biggest night of his career, and it's not even close.
I was just dying. This game was so funny to watch because, the Kings, I was like they're 13, and before tonight, they were 13-47. So they had won less than 25% of their games. And one of the games they'd won was to the Mavericks earlier this year. So that's kind of just a statistical oddity. So anyways, it was a great time kind of just watching this game because I kept expecting the Mavericks to make a run. And Najee Marshall was playing, out of his mind in the first half. And so the game was something like 66-56 at the end of the first half, only for the Mavericks to turn the ball over with 6 seconds left and it give the Kings a dunk, and the Mavericks go into the half with nothing. And then they play the third quarter. Within minutes of the third quarter, it was the 9-minute mark. It was a 3-point game. The Mavericks had already churned into the Kings lead by that much. Then the Kings went on a 12-something run of their own, and it's a double-digit lead again. And I really wonder how much of that stuff happened with Caleb Martin on the floor. He was negative 25 in 25 minutes. And almost everyone else on the lineup was playing kind of, I don't know about plus basketball, but let's just call it kind of like even basketball. Yeah, okay. You got Chris Middleton +3, Marvin Bagley -2, Najee Marshall +3. Max Christie and Caleb Martin were on the floor for the worst parts of the game for the Mavericks.
Yeah, they were. And Caleb Martin scored 10 points, and he was still a -25, which goes to show just how bad that was. And yeah. Max has been a little. I mean, not a great February for him. His scoring numbers are there, but his shooting efficiency from three hasn't been there.
Yep.
But yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know. No one could stay in front of their man, and again, it's so bad. Like I don't think Caleb Martin for all of his faults, and God bless him because there's a lot, but. I mean, he's been guarding for the most part this year, and like Max Christie, he has some room to grow as a defender, but like that's why I'm just like, man, like, is there? I mean, I know that's not what's happening, but the defense was just so bad that I'm willing to believe like conspiracy theories or anything like that, something because like I would almost forgive him a little bit more if this was tomorrow night, like second night of a back-to-back. Maybe they're worn out, like they had a day off.
The Kings had 1 second half turnover. That's impossible. Yeah. Holy shit.
All right. And they didn't really play I mean, who was their point guard tonight? Like Devin Carter, I guess. I mean, it was DeRozan kind of, Nick Clifford. Like, and speaking of point guards, kudos to the Mavericks for, despite Cooper Flagg being out all these games, Jason Kidd refusing to start a real point guard, even with Cooper. Like at first it's like, well, he's trying to experiment with the point Cooper stuff, so that's why. And now Cooper's not playing, and he's still not starting a point guard. And it's hilarious. And the turnovers are so bad tonight. They had 17. Do they have 17 as a how much?
Yeah.
How many do they have as a team? Yeah, they had 18 as a team. And the first quarter, that's why they got down in the hole to start the game. It was just like turnover. And then he puts in Brandon Williams, and the team looks a little bit better. So yeah, his refusal to play a point guard, like Brandon Williams ended up playing 27 minutes, but he didn't start. You know, Tyus Jones only played 12 minutes. Like, I don't know what he's experimenting with now because it's not like Cooper's out there.
There's
like,
nothing left to try.
Yeah, so like at this point, like that just feels like self-sabotage. Like, why else are you not starting a point guard if you're not? I mean, are you trying to give Najee Marshall point guard minutes? Like he's what? He's 28. Like there's no like that's not Najee's not a developmental player. So yeah, like Ryan Nimhard didn't even play.
No, and that's them saving his availability.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That one I'm comfortable with.
But okay, that makes sense. But still, like the not playing a point guard thing now is starting to feel just like deliberate. Like just why else wouldn't you do it? You know, you can't like because it's like if it's like why aren't you starting a point guard and if the answer isn't well we want to lose, the only other answer is well we want to give some guys some looks, but it's like okay you're starting Najee 28-year-old Najee Marshall at point guard. You don't need to develop him to be like he's 28 years old.
Which is so funny. I told one of the dads on my kids team, and like my child has like 8 players on his team. I would probably say my son is like the 6th best. He plays with some really talented kids. And I told one of the dads, I was like, your son reminds me of Najee Marshall. And he doesn't really watch a lot of Mavs. He's like, what do you mean? And I was like, he just hits all these like really tough midi shots. He plays hard all the time. And then if you were to watch tonight's game, you'd probably be kind of like, wow, that guy's really good. But also like, why is Jason Kidd just running him into the ground? Like what? Because I mean, do we think Najee's even going to play tomorrow against the Grizzlies?
I mean, I would imagine he
does. I hope he does.
But man, Najee's averaging, so that's 36 minutes against Brooklyn, 42 tonight. That's a lot. I mean, he played 39 minutes earlier. I mean, he's averaging probably like what 30, somewhere around 33, 34 minutes a night in February.
So funny.
He's played a lot of minutes.
He's played a ton of minutes. That's actually what brought this to the forefront, where it's just like the guy is a warrior in that he will he's, and I mean this in the like there's going to be fans that don't understand this comparison largely because they just didn't watch this element of team, but like there's like some Michael Finley stuff to his game where it's like he shows up and plays basketball every night. And like that's a skill in and of itself. Like there's some fans who are really angry that the Mavericks didn't trade him. And like, because that time has come and gone, I'm just like, fine, keep this guy around because he's like a culture setter, you know? He's really like, he's a special player.
Yeah, I mean that's probably. I mean, again, he's like Klay Thompson, and where if you're a rival GM, how are you not beating the doors down and getting him for your team for the playoff run? So it comes to me that maybe the Mavericks wanted to keep him around. I don't know. It would make sense because, like, you're right. He's really. I mean, you don't have to sell me on him. I was big on Najee.
You were huge on the signing, and I was like, this guy is shooting, and he's great. He's great.
He's awesome. Love Najee.
All right, we're at 16 minutes, which we deserve presidential medals of freedom for that, for this, for this kind of game. Let's take a short break. We can talk about everybody's new favorite Mav, AJ Johnson. And then we can make fun of the fact that the broadcast had Rick Welts on for an infinite amount of time for whatever fucking reason. So remember, 3 ways to support the show. You can literally give us money. There are links. I would appreciate it. Josh and I split that. Listening to the ads, huge. Ads is easy. Very appreciative of those of you who do. And the third and final way is to tell your friends. Look, man, we are up against, when I say up against, we know all these guys. They're our friends. It's fine. But, the other shows that go live every game are basically corporately backed organizations. And we are not that. So, you tell your friends that if you want some 2 dudes talking about basketball, and I feel like we keep up with everybody and in some cases surpass our friends in that particular department, you tell them about the show. So we'll be here. Everybody, thanks so much for hanging out. We'll be right back. All right. Thanks so much for hanging out with Pod Maverick. So a quick housekeeping note. Tomorrow night, Josh is going to be off. I'm going to be recording with David Trink. David Trink is going to be watching the game. I'm going to be following it on my phone. I am going to a high school playoff game like I had informed everyone else that I thought they should do. If you're looking for one to go to, if you're a true basketball sicko in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, at Flower Mound High School, Little Elm is playing Jesuit, and Little Elm is one of the I think they are the highest scoring team in the state. In a 32-minute basketball game, they score over 70 points a game, which, let me tell you, that is buckets. Anyway, Josh, what should we talk about AJ Johnson next? Because the announcing team seemed to love him.
Well, yeah, he played great. 15 minutes, 11 points, and you're kind of wondering, again, if Cooper's not playing, he's the only,
sure,
he's like a mystery box outside of like playing more Cisse, maybe playing more Ryan Himhard, which they can't, it's hard for them to do with the 2-way stuff.
Yep.
He made a 3-pointer, which he hasn't made a lot of threes this season. I made the joke a couple of weeks ago that like he looks like a dehydrated Josh Howard because he wears the wristbands.
Nobody wears wristbands anymore. That's a good point.
And he has a really long wingspan. Like Josh Howard had a huge wingspan. I think he had like a 7-foot wingspan, and he was a 6'7" forward. Like where his fingertips are going below his kneecaps, like towards his shins, kind of wingspan. And so like when you kind of like when I'm just kind of watching, like and he's got I don't know what's his jersey number. He's 8, and I think Howard was 5. So like I don't know, the single jersey number, their physical appearances being similar, the wristbands which Howard wore as well. Like I'll just be like, if I'm not paying hard attention, like if I'm getting up and coming back and the timeout, they're coming out of a timeout or something, I'm like, what? Like he just looks like Josh Howard if Josh Howard was on like a keto diet for like 6 months or something, because he's very skinny. He's very, very skinny, but he's I don't know, he's cool. He had a great game tonight. I'm flabbergasted that he doesn't play more, because why not?
He's at the podium. They got him at the podium. Abby Jones of DLLS Sports has some quotes from him if you want to find him on Twitter, and I like that. So this tells me more than anything, and I think this is a fair. If you're wondering why he hasn't played, well, they probably haven't practiced at all. That's really probably why. And so I bet as the tank continues, I bet he will play more.
Yeah, I think so. There's literally no excuse for him to not play more. And at first it was, the minutes that he did get, he was very bad. So like, you don't obviously want to just give him minutes that he hasn't earned. But at a certain point, you just kind of have to see what this guy is and give him as much rep as possible. And he was fun. He had good plays. I mean, the game kind of like he was on the floor when he got him back into the game in the fourth, and then he came out and the Kings kind of went back on another run to get themselves give themselves a cushion. So there was a definite noticeable drop in the energy level of the game for the Mavs and their competitiveness when he subbed out for the final time in the fourth, because that fourth quarter run he got was really nice.
Yep.
But yeah,
it's really something. No, I like it. Like I don't have any actual analysis because I was not paying attention close enough other than hearing Mark Followill occasionally lose his mind. So that's that, it is what it is. It's I hope he plays more and we'll kind of see where we go from here. We need to make fun of the Rick Welts like quarter and a half felt like he was with the announce crew. Now, like, look, I have no beef with Mavs announce crew. Mark Followill blocked me on Twitter like 7 years ago for something that was entirely justified. So I get it. Skin is friendly to both you and I. So we're not being too serious here, but it's like, this is when like the Mavs corporatization of things that's going on, like turns me into a sociopath, because the Mavericks are trying to build a new arena. Rick Welts was brought in to facilitate that wherever it happens. Anything else he has to say about this franchise, don't fucking care. I don't care. I don't fucking care.
I'm glad this is making you mad.
It's stupid.
I know.
Like, there's so much stuff we're told that matters, and I'm just like, I want to watch basketball. Wonderful 46-year NBA guy, Rick Welts, who did some stuff, who's in the NBA Hall of Fame for a variety of things that I'm sure are important. I don't remember what any of them are. Because I watch basketball, not business.
I get it. He's been on a lot of broadcasts is kind of my, like, because
he's very good at this.
No, he is very good. He's very personable. Seems like a very nice dude.
Yep. And if I ever meet him, I'm sure he'll tell me I'm a jackass, and I'll be like, yeah, sure, you're right. But also, am I wrong? You're the business guy. Not I watch basketball, not business.
Yeah, you don't necessarily dislike him.
Right.
It's more just like him being on these broadcasts is just kind of,
or getting thrown out for interviews and all this sort of stuff. Like it's like, come on. Like, is there a director of marketing we could have on the broadcast too? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, when you have someone on that doesn't have control of the basketball decisions, it's like, it just kind of feels just puffery, and that's whatever. Like, they're trying to fill time.
Yes.
Because these, Lord knows it's probably hard for them to do these games, but when he popped up, I was like, man, again? Like, he's just,
well, and then you get
a lot of him.
We've talked with Patrick Dumont, and we're not going to raise season ticket prices. Well, I certainly fucking hope so. The team is garbage.
Also, hopefully that's not something that comes back to bite them in
oh my God. I got into an
know.
argument with somebody on Twitter. He's like, well, he said they're not going to raise ticket prices. And I'm like, really? So if I tell you I have a piece of land I would like to sell you, you would believe me. Like, it's that's just, that's business. Like, we're all skeptical and we're slightly angsty about all this. It is what it is.
I mean, even if they don't raise the ticket prices, haven't they already raised them a lot?
Like they did last year by
2 to 3 years.
8% last year was terrible. I got one buddy who was messaging me who said, like, he basically completely changed his season ticket package because it was just totally unreasonable. And, you and I don't go to enough games to really comment on this. I don't know the math behind it, so I'm not going to act like I'm an expert. But I am going to tell you that we've started to see some stuff on on Reddit and on Twitter about some of the focus groups they're having with season ticket holders, because they're going to start, I think they're called PSLs, which is basically like seat licenses. They're going to a lot of what other places have been doing around the country. And like, they're shakedowns. And DFW is it's a massive urban, like suburban area. They'll find the people. I have no question. It just, the Mavs are like the third ranked team in the area in terms of team interest, and they might be tied for third behind, with the Stars, behind the Cowboys and the Rangers. It's one of these things that sort of chaps my ass because I want the Mavericks to be popular. I want the thing I do to matter. And you see stuff like this, and it's like I going to, Mark Cuban's been going on these Twitter rants about how going to games is important and it's affordable when the team's tanking. And I'm like, that's just like not it. It's just not it, Mark. Anyway, I'm off my rocker on this one.
Yeah. No, I kind of get it. Would you rather go to a really cheap Mavs game and this game, or would you rather pay a little bit more? I don't know. I think people would be willing to pay a little bit more if the team's good. I don't know.
Mavs games are good. They do a good job.
Oh no, yeah.
Like, because I've been to other arenas. Like the Mavs do a good job. So I'm being a little hypocritical here, but I'm very frustrated by it all because a lot of what's happened has to become over the last 18 months has to become water under the bridge. Like we have to let it go. You and I haven't talked Luka stuff and we just completely ignored the anniversary because I don't want to talk about it anymore. And excuse me. And it's some of the stuff when it comes up is just silly. It'll all be fine. The Mavericks are going to get a top 4 pick in the draft. I just feel it in my bones. Like, I don't know why. And like that will change the course of how we talk about this team. And then we'll be heading on that upward trajectory, which is honestly a lot more fun than covering a great team and a hell of a lot more fun than covering a stinky team. So we'll see.
Yep. I'm with you.
Okay. 27 minutes. We're heroes. We deserve awards. Don't have anything else. I'll probably hang out. I'll hang out tomorrow with David or after David. And if there needs to be a Mavs party or group therapy, I want to talk to some of you guys. I got my guy. Got a couple of folks in the chat. Killer Cam down there who I haven't talked to in like 10 or 11 days. And like some of these guys I talk to like more than I talk to my family members. So I miss talking to you guys. So I'll be back. We'll host that. Thanks so much for hanging out. We will talk soon. Everybody be good and go Mavs.